Hello, Mom? Hello, Harriet? It's Mr. Cashman. Everything all right? Did Pepito show up? Pepito, the busboy. Didn't show up, huh? Did you call the agency again? Well, listen, there's nothing I can do right now. I'm still in Bloomingdale's. It's just murder in here with all the Christmas shoppers. Did my wife call? And you told her Bloomingdale's? Good, good. Well, listen, I'm going to be in at 5:30 the latest. Thank you, Harriet. What the hell am I doing here? Hello. I was in the kitchen. I didn't hear the bell. Come on in.
I'm in.
How are you?
Very nice.
Well, you look very nice.
You look surprised. Did you think I'd come?
I wasn't sure, but I was hoping.
I wasn't sure either, but I came.
I'm glad.
Good.
I would have been disappointed if you didn't come. Would you?
Be disappointed if I didn't come? No, I know I wasn't coming, so there'd be no disappointment.
Anyway, hello. My God, I'm sorry I forgot your name.
You're forgiven. Elena Valzio.
Really?
Don't tell me I'm wrong.
You just don't look like an Elena Vazio to me.
No? What then?
I don't know, for some reason you look like an Irene.
Irene. You think I look like an Irene? No, I look like an Elena Vazio.
Are you of Italian origin, Navasio?
No, I'm of Polish persuasion. Mr. Navazio is of Italian origin. What extraction are you of?
Actually, I'm part Russian and part Lithuanian. My real name isn't Cashman, it's Chernikovsky. When my grandfather came to this country, someone told him that if he had any trouble with the immigration office at Ellis Island, he should give the man some cash. So when they asked him his name and they didn't understand him, he gave the man some cash. So that's the name they gave him, Cashman.
That's an extremely interesting story.
I'm sorry, I was just making conversation. That's the kitchen.
No bedroom?
No, well, the sofa opens up into a bed. It's a convertible.
Yippee! You like it quite like this? I mean, no talking?
I'm sorry, I guess I just ran out of conversation for a minute.
Are you nervous?
The truth? Yes. Are you?
The truth? No.
Good. No sense in both of us being nervous. You mentioned Mr. Navazio. So I assume you're married?
Mr. Navazio assumes I'm married. I assume what I want.
I didn't see a marriage ring, so I was wondering.
Can I have a cigarette?
A cigarette? Wouldn't you rather have some water?
I can't smoke water.
You're not sick, are you?
In what way?
In a sick way. I mean, that's a terrible cough.
If it bothers you, I won't do it again.
It doesn't bother me. I thought it would bother you.
If it bothered me, I wouldn't do it, would I? You're not going to give me that cigarette, are you?
I don't smoke.
Then what are you filling your pockets for?
I don't know. It was just a reflex action.
You mean you always fill your pockets when you don't offer someone a cigarette?
No, I don't know why I did it.
You don't keep any in the apartment?
Actually, it's not my apartment.
I see. You just borrow it once in a while.
No, nothing like that. As a matter of fact, it's my mother's apartment.
You're not actively serious.
I'm very serious. This is my mother's apartment. It's where my mother lives.
She gonna join us?
She works 2 days a week at Mount Sinai Hospital. She doesn't get home until 5.
That'll make things interesting.
My mother's always doing charity work. She likes to help out needy people.
Like us.
I didn't know where else to come.
Listen, I always say, keep it in the family.
Would you like a drink?
Desperately.
I'm sorry, I should have offered you one right away. I have J&B Scotch. Is that all right?
What else have you got?
That's it, just J&B Scotch.
I have J&B Scotch.
I didn't see you drink at the restaurant, so I figured plain Scotch.
You brought glasses too?
I picked them up from Bloomingdale's. I was thinking of getting them for the restaurant.
You were afraid that if you dirtied your mother's glasses, she'd know someone was here.
My mother's a very meticulous woman. If anything looked different when she got home, I would have to explain it to her and it would get very complicated.
I think you did a smart thing. How many ice cubes did you bring?
I didn't go quite that far. Would you like some ice? I'll get you some ice.
Forget it. We'll spend the rest of the afternoon wiping fingerprints off the tray.
She's a very typical woman, you know. She knows exactly how high the pillows were packed when she left.
Is that where you left your rubbers in the newspaper, so it won't leave a telltale slush?
I'm beginning to feel very foolish about all this.
Forget it. Maybe the slide's not without strawbacks.
Oh, here you are.
I would like to ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you going to talk soft like that all afternoon?
Was I talking soft?
I know that's not your natural voice because I hear you yelling a lot in a restaurant. The lady wants a boiled halibut, not a baked halibut! Are you talking soft because you think that's sexier? Because I don't find it sexy. I find it hard to hear.
Sorry, it's just that these new buildings have paper-thin walls and I was afraid. I mean, my mother has this high, squeaky voice and there's an old lady next door who's home all day. And if she were to suddenly hear deep voices, you'll start to
So what's the
wonder.
plan? You whisper and I clean the house in a high squeaky voice?
No, there is no plan. We both talk natural.
You have a pen and paper? We can pass notes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to inhibit you. Look, I'm talking loud and clear in my natural voice. Is that better? Does that make you feel more comfortable?
Much.
Sorry, I really feel like an idiot. I mean, I want you to relax and say anything and do anything you want, okay?
Do you know you have a nice smile?
Me? No.
That's not your smile? It looked like your smile.
No, thank you.
Don't thank me, it's your smile.
I never knew you kidding me.
I'm only kidding you. Pay no attention to me.
Anyway, you're not supposed to say nice things to me. I'm supposed to say nice things to you.
Alright, say nice things to me.
You're an attractive woman.
That's it. You came off better than I did. Cheers.
Cheers.
Is that your wife I see once in a while in the restaurant? The tall blonde woman with the mink coat and the space shoes?
That's right. How did you know?
I figured the only person who'd come in and take money out of the cash register and leave without saying a word is either a mute cook or a wife.
She does that once a week. She goes to the bank on Fridays.
So how long are you and the depositor married?
A long time.
How long? 5 years? 10 years? What?
23 years.
Oh, professionals. So here it is, Friday, and your wife's at the bank with her space shoes, and mother's rolling bandages in Mount Sinai, and you're all alone with an attractive woman with an empty glass.
I'm sorry. You sure you don't want ice?
Positive. You just did it again.
Did what?
Why? Smelled your fingers.
Did I do that? I'm not even conscious of it.
Is that an occupational hazard? Owning a fish restaurant and always worrying how your fingers smell?
Well, it's opening all those clams and oysters. I enjoy doing it. I do about 8 dozen every morning. That's for the last 20 years. I use soap, perfume, aftershave lotion, turpentine. They're all right for a few hours, but then at 4 in the afternoon it comes back in just like the tide.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you.
Well, that's not the suave thing. I mean, sitting here in my nice blue suit with an attractive woman smelling my fingers.
This smelly fingers doesn't bother me as much as the blue suit. You never wear anything else, do you?
Not in the restaurant. My father always taught me that a businessman should always wear a dignified blue suit. I wear them in the summer too, only in a cooler fabric.
Good. I was concerned.
What do they call a person like me, a creature of habit?
Yes, I think that's what they call a person like you. You never had a wild, crazy desire for a brown sports jacket?
I have a sports jacket in my closet at home. I have a brown sports jacket, and I have a grey checked sports jacket, and
So
I have
is
a...
that where you wear them? In your closet at home?
I wear them all the time. I'm not as staid as you think.
Oh, yes you are. Staid is a very staid word. You own a car?
Yes?
A Buick, right?
My God, how do you know?
Goes with a blue suit.
You're a very unusual woman, Elaine. Like the way you came to my restaurant. I never saw you there before, and all of a sudden you come back for lunch 8 days in a row. What is it, a special high-protein diet?
I get cravings.
You mean to eat?
To eat, to touch, to smell, to see, to do. A sensual physical pleasure that can only be satisfied at that particular moment.
You mean like after an hour of handball at cold Pepsi?
I'm going to have trouble with you, right? I have a craving for another scotch.
Coming right up.
Caught you again.
I wasn't smelling my fingers. I was just looking at my watch.
Oh, is it time to smell your fingers yet?
I was just thinking about my mother. We have plenty of time.
What time is it?
Yeah. 10 after 3?
And Mount Sinai lets out at 5. We've got an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. You want to make the first move?
Boy, you're very open about things, aren't you?
In other words, you're not going to make the first move.
Sure I am, certainly. I just thought we'd finish our drink first.
It's your schedule. Listen, is there a chance the little old lady next door smoked? All I need is one cigarette.
I wouldn't think so.
I can ring her bell. I can say, I'm collecting for the Red Cross.
I'm sorry I didn't bring any. You don't think you could wait until 5, do you?
I can wait until August if you're a hypnotist. Forget it, I'll take shorter breaths.
Can I say something? This isn't going very well, is it?
It's had some ups and downs.
Listen, Mrs. Navazio, you really
If
are...
you're going to keep calling me Mrs. Navazio, you'd better get out a deck of cards.
I'm sorry, Irene.
Try Elaine, you'd get a better response.
Elaine, why do I think you're Irene?
Is your wife Irene?
No, my wife Thelma.
Well, let her worry about Irene.
The thing is, Elaine...
Yes, Barney?
Barney, that's right, please call me Barney.
What else have I got to do?
The thing is, Elaine...
Yes, Barney?
The thing is, I find you an extremely attractive woman.
I heard. Thank you.
I know, I said it before, and I said it in the restaurant, didn't I?
Mhm.
Wasn't it the first thing I said to you?
No, the first thing you said to me was, try the scallops.
I mean, after I got to know you, once we got to talking on a personal basis.
The first personal thing you said to me was, I've never seen such beautiful fingers in my finger bowls.
Well, listen, I'm not George Bernard Shaw. For me, I thought it was clever. It's corny, right?
Well, I'm not in George Bernard Shaw's mother's apartment, am I?
Not that I don't dabble a little in writing myself.
Oh, you dabble?
Nothing serious, but I get a kick out of it. You read some of my stuff.
Oh, I did? Where?
In the menu. Sweet, savory swordfish steak swimming in salivary succulents. That's mine.
Very catchy. It has a nice beat.
That's the idea. It's what they call an alliteration.
Do they? You take that in college?
Actually, I didn't go to college. I went from the army right into the Queen of the Sea. My father opened a restaurant in 1931. We used to be in Sheepshead Bay. That's where we grew up. I was always hoping to be a radio writer. Orson Welles and the Mercury Theatre. That was my dream. But then the war came, and then my father died and left me the restaurant, and then television killed radio. And I never thought my kind of writing would go on television. I don't write visual, I write for the ear. Sweet, savory swordfish steak. Anyway, I still get a kick out of doing the menus. Did you see the one I did on flaming Florentine flounder?
I browsed through it. What time is it now?
20 after 3.
That's another 10-minute shot. So, what's it going to be?
My God, you really come right to the point, don't you?
Look, did you ask me up here with the intentions of having an affair or not?
Well, in a manner of speaking,
Yes or no?
yes.
And that you've got to be out by 5.
I don't think I put it that bluntly.
What time do you have to be out?
5.
All right.
Look, I don't deny that my intentions were of a romantic nature, but
Romantic? In your mother's clean apartment with 2 glasses from Bloomingdale's and your rubbers dripping on the newspaper?
it was my belief that romance was inspired by the participants, not the accoutrements.
That's beautifully worded. You ought to use it with the Cherstone clams. What's the matter? Is having an affair a dirty expression?
Certainly not. Having an affair, what's wrong with that?
I mean, people talk that way today, you know. Maybe not Buick drivers, but a lot of people I know.
I admitted it was a creature of habit, not a prude.
The hell you're not. I bet I can say 3 words right now that would turn your blue suit into Glad Cloud.
Look, Elaine, this is really silly.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say a word. You want to put your hands over your ears?
Hey, come on, Elaine, I don't think this is funny.
I'm saying it. Screw.
Asshole! Do it too. I don't understand the point of this.
The point is, we've got time problem and you're reading me fish poetry.
I know we've got a time problem, but there's also the business of human communication. of talking to someone, getting to know someone.
Okay.
Sorry. Maybe my whole approach to you is a little too old-fashioned.
Alright, I'm flexible. I'll try things your way. What did you want to see me about, Mr. Cashman?
Well, hey, don't be like that.
Well, maybe I just don't understand you. I've got a 210-pound husband who'd break my arms and legs if you caught me up here, and you're telling me about your sweet, succulent childhood in sheep's head, babe.
I just thought you might be interested to know a little more about me. I mean, until you walked in here 10 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago.
20. I was just a restaurant owner admiring your fingers, and you were an attractive woman who had a craving for fish.
Look, you're the one who put an address and an apartment number on the back of the $1.80 check. Then I come here and find out we've got an hour and 15 minutes before your social working mother with a high squeaky voice comes home to examine the pot pillows. Now, if we have 2 weeks in Nassau, I'll gladly look at the colored pictures of your tonsils.
I explained that. I thought a motel was a little too sordid. And I would gladly have picked up your check, but my cashier is very nosy, and if she saw me paying for something...
Forget it. You've got a lot of courage. I was surprised you took the chance of giving me extra shrimp on the shrimp cocktail.
I don't know how we got started on this.
It's the cigarette nerves. Don't pay attention to me. Is that bottle going to just sit up there, or are you going to turn it into a lamp?
You finished the other one already?
I didn't finish it. It evaporated.
Elaine, can I ask you a very honest question?
Yes, I've done this before.
That's not what I was going to ask.
All right, you've got a free one there. What were you going to ask?
I'm still not over that answer. You mean you have, on other occasions...
I have, on other occasions, in other places, with other men, done the unthinkable. If it'll help your vanity any, you're the first owner of a fish restaurant I've ever been with. In that respect, absolute virgin.
I gather then you're not very happy with Mr. Navazio.
What the hell kind of question is that? Am I happy with Mr. Navazio?
I'm sorry, I dropped the subject.
I didn't come here to get reform. It's bad enough you got me quit smoking. Leave my sex life alone.
It's none of my business. I'll leave it alone.
What was your question?
What question? Ah, before. Well, I was just wondering. I mean, I told you I thought you were attractive. I know why I ask you here. Did you come because, Isn't it funny? I find it hard to just come out and say it.
Would you like me to wait in the kitchen?
Am I appealing to you?
Yes.
I am?
Now you appeal to me.
What do you mean now? You mean possibly not tomorrow?
Possibly not in 15 minutes. I have a short span of concentration.
You mean with you it can change from day to day?
By tonight I may hate fillet of sole.
I'm not talking about seafood, I'm talking about people.
Yes, with me it can change from day to day.
Oh. Well, I find that disturbing.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. I find it disturbing and a little sad that your attitude towards people is so detached.
You'll get over it. Can I ask you a question?
Yes?
Are you writing some kind of research book or something? Is that what you really got me up here? Sexual secrets of seafood sufferers. You've got a little tape recorder going on with a candy dish?
I'm sorry, it's very hard keeping up with you. 1 minute we're having a nice conversation and the next minute you turn on me.
Listen, it's been terrific. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know when I had a better time. You certainly put a beautiful glass of scotch in. My compliments to your mother's housekeeping.
Where are you going?
Outside to look for cigarette butts, and then home. Don't worry, no one will notice me leaving the building. I'll walk backwards.
What did I say? Why are you so upset?
I disturb you. I make you sad. I've been called a lot of things by a lot of people in a lot of places, but I've never been called a depressant.
I never said that. I didn't even mean that.
You've got some nerve getting me up in this 1938 furnished apartment in your shiny blue suit and 2 thimbleful of scotch, sitting there smelling your fingers and telling me I give you the blues?
When did I say that? I'm not depressed, I'm not blue, I'm very happy.
No kidding. How about 2 fast courses? Let us smell the umbrella. Listen, let me have $1.50. I'll be goddamn if I'm going to pay for the lunch and the taxi.
Elaine, please sit down. Let me just say something.
Say something? You've already talked away half of our allotted time. Now you're going to need to use the other half to wipe my lip prints off the glass, pop off the pillows, and get the hell out of here.
Elaine, if you could just lower your voice a little.
Lower my voice? Mr. Cashman is using his mother's apartment to bring broads!
What's the sense in that?
Don't tell me I depress you, flaming Florentine flounder. Holy Christ!
Elaine, you're getting yourself unduly upset.
I'm Julie upset! I'm risking a bullet between the eyes and I can't even get a lousy cigarette!
Your chest sounds congested. Have you ever tried sleeping with a vaporizer?
No, but don't worry, I'll get around to everybody.
I don't want to seem gloomy, but it's a very bad cough. Have you gone to a doctor?
There's nothing wrong with my lungs or my chest. I cough because I've got nothing better to do in the afternoons.
Don't you want the water?
Keep it as a memento of this wonderful afternoon.
Oh boy. Sure bungled this whole thing, didn't I?
You want it straight?
I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
All right, forget it.
No, I am. I really am. I'm sorry I wasted your time. I'm sure you could have found something more interesting to do than sitting here with me talking.
If I rush, I can still make the second shot the Hayden Planetarium. Don't look wistful, will you please? I can't stand wistful 45-year-old men.
Is that how old I look to you? 45?
Come right down to the marrow, eh? No, actually, you look like a college kid. 21, 22.
Oh, come on.
It's your Mr. Men socks that threw me off.
Anyway, I'm flattered because I'm 47. Does that surprise you?
It's a good thing I was sitting down when you told me.
You're still upset, aren't you? At what I said before.
Forget it.
No, you're still upset, I can tell.
I'm not upset, I'm not angry, I'm not mad. If you want the plain, heartbreaking truth, I'm a little bored. But there's no harm done, no one got hurt. The worst thing that'll happen is that from now on, I'll get the same 5 shrimps as everyone else. It's been a glorious and memorable 30 minutes. Goodbye, Mr. Howard.
Don't go yet.
It happens to the best of us.
Elaine, you know what I wish?
Don't tell me, it won't come true.
I wish you would go out and close the door and then ring the bell and come back in again. I wish I could start this whole thing over from the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's life. Goodbye, Barney. I just happened to be in the neighborhood and I thought I'd drop by. Oh, Christ!
Are you alright?
My God, that thing's bleeding!
I'm sorry, Ellie.
You want me on the sofa? Why didn't you just point to it?
I didn't want you on the sofa. I'm really sorry. Let me see your lip.
It's a bleeding that we've seen it before.
Can I put some cold water on it?
It's all right, it'll heal. It's only royal families that have to worry. Give me a handkerchief.
I'm stupid idiots. I don't know why I kissed you so hard.
It was a terrific kiss. A little pointy, but very nice. Help me up.
You sure you don't want a little ice?
You're just worrying about it is enough for me. It's done. Here, you better burn this.
How about a little more scotch?
How about a lot more? You packed the glass already? You didn't wax the floors too, did you?
Some klutz, huh? That's me. World's Olympic champion klutz.
Listen, it's the best 2 minutes we've had. I'm not the one to knock a little physical contact.
Yeah, but I mean, it was right out of high school. If we missed the sofa, I could have fallen on top of you and broken your back.
That's an interesting picture. So, you want another shot at it?
You mean I'm forgiven? You really are something, Elaine. I never saw anyone who can change moods quickly as you.
It's a talent. It's not as good as stop dancing, but what the hell?
I don't think you're as tough as you like to sound.
I bet you're going to hold my hand next.
Yes, I am. How you like that? Don't you like having a man hold your hand in his?
Depends what he's doing with the other hand.
I wish I could figure you out. I wish I knew what was going on in that brain of yours right now.
We're not going to that talking thing again, are we? Without cigarettes?
Elaine, what do you like as a girl?
Fat and pimply. Don't you even smoke a pipe? A couple of drags is all I need.
Is that all you can think of? Is there nothing more important in your life right now? Is there nothing else in your mind but a lousy goddamn mentholated filtered cigarette?
Well, what else are you offering that's more enjoyable?
I'm trying to talk to you to know what you like as a human being. Is there anything wrong with that?
Not if we have to be out by 5. If you wanted information, I could have filled out the form in the restaurant.
Tell me the truth, honest truth. Would you be a lot happier if I started ripping off your clothes and chomping all over you? No hello, no nothing, just a pure physical animal act? Is that what you would prefer?
That would be a way of breaking the ice.
Because if that's what you want, I can certainly accommodate. I mean, there's no problem in that area, is there?
If you say so.
I say so, there's no problem in that area.
Then what's the problem?
There is no problem. Yes, there is. I'm sorry, I happen to think that's crude. Look, I admit I don't know you very well, but I was hoping we could start off this relationship with at least mutual respect for each other.
If you don't know me, how can you respect me?
Because you're a human being, a woman, and I respect that.
Hey, listen, no offense, but I'm getting a bad headache. How much do you get for a couple of aspirin?
I suppose I did that. As you said, I'm boring you to death, right?
Barney, you're simply too overconfident for me. I'm just 20 in your hands. Can I fill this myself? I promise I won't go past the pencil mark.
Elaine, is it possible you really are as cold as you sound?
I need gloves to take off my underwear.
Flattened, wise, cold. You won't allow yourself to be sincere and honest for a minute, will you?
Barney, I'm going to give you one free hint. So this afternoon isn't at all right up. If you want to die in love and romance, take a guitar and go to Spain. I'm leaving for good now. Peak is kept.
Cold, callous, and unemotional.
Those are my attorneys. You know where to get in touch with me.
Forgive me for saying so, but that's a pretty frightening way to go through life.
You're forgiven.
Frightening, sad, and pitiful.
You hypocrite! You soul-searching, finger-smelling, hypocritical son of a bitch! Who are you to tell anyone how to go through life? What would you have done if I came here all fluttery and blushing and, oh, Mr. Cashman, don't put your hand there, I'm a married woman. Were to tell me how much you respect me and admire me in the moment of truth, even love me? You know damn well tomorrow you'd be back behind the counter, opening clowns and pray to Christ I'd never come back in your restaurant. And you know something? That's the way it should be. Forgive me for this terrible, sinful thing I'm about to say, but I happen to like the pure physical act of making love. It warms me, it stimulates me, and it makes me feel like a woman. But that's another ugly story. And that's what I came here for, and that's what you were expecting. But don't old, my mother ran off with a butcher and I was looking for someone to love me ever since. I don't know your problems, and I don't care. Keep your savory, swordfish, succotash stories to yourself. No one ever really cares about anything, anyone in this world except himself. And there's only one way to get through with your sex. If you can touch it, taste it, or smell it, forget it. If you want a copy of that speech, send 50 cents in a self-addressed envelope.
Please don't go yet.
It's getting late. I have to feed the line at 6.
But I don't want you to go like this. I want you to hear me out. Stay 5 more minutes. You can do that, can't you?
Don't waste your time. We're incompatible. You need Joan Fontaine, and I need a box of lozenges.
All right, if I have to lock you in, I'll lock you in. You saw me opening the clams. You know I'm stronger than you.
Well, wouldn't you know it? We've got 40 minutes left, and you're finally showing me some brute force.
Please sit down. I'm asking nicely.
You really want to get me crazy? Push me.
Just sit there. Don't talk, don't cough, don't even breathe. Just sit there and shut up until I tell you you can go. If I'm not getting anything else from you this afternoon, it's going to be your undivided goddamn attention. Excuse me. This may come as no great shock to you, but you're the first attempted extramarital affair for me in 23 years of marriage. I never even kissed another woman in 23 years. Got married to my high school sweetheart, and when have you heard that expression last? When I was 24, having gone steady with her since I was 16. How many experiences with other women do you think I had prior to getting married? One. I had one shot at it. When I was 18, my brother took me to an apartment in Newark, New Jersey, where I consorted with a 44-year-old woman who greeted me laying naked on a brass bed, reading a newspaper. It cost me $7 and I threw up all night. I don't smoke, I don't gamble, and you had more to drink this afternoon than I had in my whole life. I never had a car accident, I never had a fist fight, I never had a broken bone, I never had a temperature over 102. Life's not only been very kind to me, it goes out of its way to ignore me. I've got 3 kids I'm very proud of, a house I worked very hard for, and a wife who isn't extraordinary, not what you would call an exciting, vivacious woman, but one who is kind and considerate and devoted and that I happen to love. So why, after 23 years, do I write my mother's address on the back of a check, buy a bowl of scotch with 2 glasses, and pray to God I never get caught? Why? Tell you why. I don't know. I never had the urge before. Not true. I started getting the urge about 5 years ago. 2 years ago, seriously. About a year ago, I decided to give in to it in the last 6 months, consciously. 47 years old, and for the first time in my life, I think about dying. The thought of death has now become part of my life. I read the obituaries every morning just for the satisfaction of not seeing my name there. I constantly think about how it's going to come and how I'm going to bear up to it. Do you know I even practice dying? I lay in bed at night trying to feel myself slip away. And then I let my hat drop off to the side. And I let my last gasp of air. And then I go in and take 2 sleeping pills because I'm up all night, scared out of my wits. But it's inevitable, it's going to happen someday, maybe sooner than I think. And I ask myself, have you enjoyed it, Bordy? Was it a really terrific 47 years? And you know what my answer is? I wouldn't say terrific, it was nice. the sum total of my existence is nice. I will go to my grave having led a nice life, and I will have a nice funeral, and they'll bury me in my nice blue suit, and my wife will weep for me and mourn for me for 6 months, and then she will marry another nice fellow. Maybe even give him my brown sports jacket. And I wouldn't condemn her for it. It's natural order of things. Life must go on. But while it's going on, shouldn't it be better than just nice? Shouldn't there be something else besides opening the restaurant at 11 o'clock every morning? Shouldn't there be something better besides the 3 weeks every August in Saratoga Springs where I stand in a pool with 50 fat middle-aged people wishing I was home opening the restaurant at 11 o'clock in the morning? Not just once give in to my fantasies, my secret dreams, experience things, emotions, stimulants I never experienced before. I wanted to know what it was like with another woman. Would I be successful? Would she like me? Would I like to touch her? 1,000 questions I never knew the answer to if suddenly my name appeared in the obituary column tomorrow morning. So I decided to indulge myself just once. And I'm not pretending to be fair to my wife. If she indulged herself the same way, I'd never forgive her. So I started looking around. And I promise you, with all intention of having one affair, one day of pleasure, and that's all. But if it's just going to be one day, I wanted it to be memorable, an experience so exciting and rewarding and fulfilling that it would last me the rest of my life. Not cheap, not sordid. And then I would go back to my restaurant, opening it at 11 o'clock in the morning, but knowing that for one brief afternoon, I had changed the pattern of my life. And for once I didn't just exist, I lived.
So that's why you wanted to get laid.
I said I would let you know when you can go. Now's a good time.
I was going to cry in the middle, but I didn't want to wet your mother's sofa.
Hope you understand, but I didn't expect it.
Listen, it was terrifically entertaining. I really enjoyed it. But there's one or two reasons though why I couldn't feel too sympathetic for the hero. In the first place, there's a very good possibility that the 44-year-old woman in Newark, New Jersey was my mother. That'll give you some idea of my background. In the second place, any man who expects to have a beautiful, memorable, and enchanting day of honest love with a woman he picks up in a fish restaurant is either sexually retarded or a latent idiot. In the third place, no one gives a good crap about you dying because a lot of people discovered it ahead of you. We're all dying, Mr. Cashman. As a matter of fact, I myself died sometime about 6 months ago. I'm just hanging around to clean up some business affairs. Together, Barney, we blew one of the very few free afternoons we have allotted to us in this life. But I'm not putting the blame on you. Serves me right. If I had a craving for corned beef and cabbage, I'd be in some big Irishman's apartment right now, having the time of my life. C'est la vie. Good luck, Barney, in your quest for the impossible dream. Oh, please God, let there be a machine in the lobby.
Hello, Harriet? Mr. Cashman. Did the Best Buy shop? Did you call the agency again? I'll be in about 20 minutes. I'm leaving Bloomingdale's now. No, I didn't get anything. I looked, I shopped around, but I didn't get anything. Well, that's the way things are. See you, Harriet. I'll never do that again. Never, 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 never. Never! Never!